It's very easy to get distracted. The biggest lesson I've learned in different businesses is that we always do the best when we're focused. And when we get distracted, that is where the downfall happens. Get very clear on the mission and the goal. Stick to it and don't do anything else. And don't get distracted by shiny things. 6 years ago, we weren't focused on buying 100+ slot multifamily RV or apartments or anything like that. It was possible for us to do these things the whole time. We were just thinking too small. I've learned that the smaller deals, you'll get appreciation, but that's about all you're going to get. And you can get the same appreciation in the bigger deals plus everything else. Welcome to another episode of the Real Entrepreneur Podcast. My name's Alex Kaufman. Glad you're here. And our hope is on these episodes to share some insight and some information. Last week we talked about myself and my story and things like that. But today we're talking about market trends, business, lessons learned. So hopefully y'all can learn from mistakes we've made in the past, lessons we've learned in the past, and not repeat the same ones for yourself and your business moving forward. The question was, what key trends have I noticed over the years, and what should entrepreneurs consider when navigating these trends? So the biggest thing that I've learned, and I have to continuously remind myself of over the years of operating these businesses and real estate, buying real estate investments, is that focus is always best. It's very easy to get distracted in what is going on around you and fear of missing out and different things that come up in different opportunities or things that are disguised as opportunities but are really just distractions. And focus is the best. I used to think that the one thing, specializing in one area, focusing on one area was not good, and that it was better to be versatile and to, have different avenues that can produce different results that achieve, the same path, that are on the same path forward. But what I've learned is that in reality, it really doesn't work out that way. A lot of times, actually majority of times, like 95% plus of the times, it doesn't work out. And the biggest lesson I've learned in the trends, different markets, different cycles, different businesses, is that we always do the best when we're focused. And when we get distracted with things and different things and new people, that is where the downfall happens. You get distracted, you lose progress, you waste time, you waste resources, you waste energy, when we would have done a lot better if we would have just stayed focused. So over the years, it started out, very chaotic and like all these different things going on, different businesses, different business partners. Let's do all these things. And over the years, it's gotten narrower and narrower and narrower. And every year I tell myself, that didn't work, focus. And then every year there's things that come up that distract. And that is the biggest lesson, is to focus on what you're doing. Get very clear on where you're going. Get very clear on the mission and the goal, and stick to it and don't do anything else. And don't get distracted by shiny things that come along that path, because there's a ton of shiny things, and there's a million things you could go out there and do. But if you just focus on what you're building, and you focus on the thing that pays you the most, and you focus on growing and scaling that, then you'll always do best. And so, with trends and things have changed over time. Like 6 years ago, we weren't focused on buying 100+ slot, multifamily RV or apartments or anything like that. We weren't focused on buying shopping centers or strip centers. We were focused on doing what was in front of us. And so, but looking back, it was possible for us to do these things the whole time. We were just thinking too small. And there was opportunity in what we were doing at the time with single family 2 to 4 units. And we were just thinking too small. We were thinking way too small. We were thinking, we weren't focused on buying deals with partners via raising capital. We weren't looking at the bigger deals. And I've learned that the smaller deals are in a market like Austin, you'll get appreciation, but that's about all you're going to get. And you can get the same appreciation in the bigger deals plus everything else. So trend is just another shiny object. So fuck trends. Don't focus on trends. Don't focus on what other people are doing. Don't focus on, all that stuff. Real estate and buying real estate is very simple. And if you focus on following, the deal requirements and focus on a few things within deals, and you do that every single time, it doesn't matter what market you're in, what the cycle's doing, what the current trend is, you're going to do well by buying good assets in good locations, buying under market value, making sure that they cash flow, making sure that they support debt with today's debt market, and having a good management team. If you focus on those things and the ability to add value to it, so the ability to increase the income and increase the value, if you focus on those things and do that in any market, in any condition, and in any part of the cycle, you're going to do well. So I would not focus on trends. I would remove the word trend from your vocabulary. Unless you're in the technology space and you're trying to ride the trend of TikTok or build the new app or whatever it is, then remove trend from your vocabulary. Don't talk about trends. Focus on the fundamentals of buying good real estate assets, and you'll never go wrong. So you should replace trend with fundamental and focus on the fundamentals. Don't focus on the trends. Don't focus on what everybody else around you is doing, because most of those people will not be around for long. So that's the biggest thing I think you should focus on is focus. Don't get caught up in all these things. Don't try and do everything. Be the best at what you're trying to build. Like right now with TR3 Capital, we're trying to buy really good big assets in good locations that cash flow and have the ability for us to add value. We don't have any interest in buying smaller deals anymore. We don't have any interest in buying deals in bad locations that are shitty properties, because those shitty properties never do good. Nobody wants the shitty properties. We want to buy good deals in good conditions and good locations that provide cash flow and have the ability for us to add value. And we want to pass those returns off to our investors. And we want to buy these with people. And all of us benefit from buying these good assets. Now, are we buying $200 million apartment complexes yet? No, but we'll be there shortly. But are we buying the $200,000 single family house in Round Rock and flipping it? Nope, not doing that either. Right now, we're focusing on taking that step up the next level. And then after we take that step, we'll take the next one and keep building the real estate empire of good assets. So that's what we're focusing on. Anything outside of that, we're not doing. It's also about building the system and building the infrastructure to be able to support that and scale that. You'll never scale and you'll never grow, and you will never build something. You'll never build a system if you're constantly looking outside of that system. If you're constantly looking at this and that and this and that and him and her and what's over there and that trend, this trend, that trend, you will never, ever grow and scale your system. You're going to constantly be bouncing around like a pinball in a pinball machine, following the next trend. And then as soon as that trend shifts, you're going to go over there, and you're never going to make any progress. It's a ton of headache. It's a huge distraction. It's extremely inefficient. And if you would just focus on the fundamentals of whatever you're trying to do and continue to build and grow that, and that alone, you'll make it much further than you would following trends. So that's my opinion on trends: is remove it from your vocabulary. Don't follow trends. It's gonna shoot you in the head unless you're in some space where trends are necessary, but they're not in real estate. It's not necessary to follow trends in real estate. But if you're in technology or whatever, then sure, focus on it. Follow the trend and keep following the trend until one of those trends hits for you. But if you're focusing on buying real estate and you're trying to build a real estate portfolio, focus on the fundamentals. Don't focus on trends, because the trends are not where you want to be. And the people who have built, billion-dollar portfolios, and the people who are extremely wealthy in the real estate space are doing it based on the fundamentals of real estate: location, deals, cash flow, and adding value, and good management teams. And that's what they do. And that's how they've built these really large portfolios. It's not from, following trends and doing what everybody else is doing and getting excited about every shiny object. And you're going to have to be okay with this, because some of the things that you say no to are going to hit, right? It's just like, I don't know, it's if you were to go to the casino, you got this wide range of things to choose from, and you have to say no to certain things to work on the thing that you want to work on, the one thing that you want to gamble on. And some of those other gambles, they would have hit, but majority of the ones wouldn't have. And so you're going to have to be okay with, saying no to most, because most of it's not going to work out, and being okay with the outlier that would have hit. But here's the thing is that, just because that outlier hits, it doesn't mean that it'll be better than focusing on building your main thing and focusing on that, because this will always hit, and this will hit the biggest, and this is the thing that's going to pay you the most, and this is the thing that's going to pay you for forever. These little outliers here or there, they're fickle. They die off. They're not around for very long, and you can go do anything you want in this world, but stay away from trends, stay away from distractions, and highly focus on what your main business is and what your main goal is. Because if you don't, you're shooting your business in the head. I said earlier, it's going to shoot you in the head, but what you're actually doing is you're making a conscious decision to kill your business and your main thing. What advice do I have for people looking to differentiate yourself? I'm not a big fan of like, getting lost in this. I don't constantly sit here and think about, how can I be different than this person or that person? And that's the thing with real estate fundamentals, is it's not different. It's proven. You're going to follow the same thing every single time. It's the same thing that all these billionaires have been following for hundreds of years. This is how wealth is built. This is the fucking formula. Don't worry about how your formula is different than the other formula, because it's the same formula. Just do the formula. Stick to the formula. I don't know. I've never cared about being quote unquote different. I know who I am. I know that I'm not the same as other people, and so I just be me. I focus on doing me. I focus on being myself. I focus on doing the things that I want to do. I focus on following the formula. I focus on those things, and I don't focus on thinking outside of myself and trying to be something that I'm not. I just do me. I focus on me, and that is what differentiates me from other people, is I'm not trying to be somebody else. So focus, follow the formula, remove trends from your vocabulary, and focus on the fundamentals. And I guarantee you, it's going to be hard for you to do. It takes real discipline to do this, and it takes realization. It takes having gone through the pain of not doing this before to get to this point, because it's very easy to get distracted. And us as entrepreneurs, that's what we do. Oh, let's try this, maybe this. There's always something else out there. And I've just learned over the years that is not the winning strategy. And the winning strategy is to focus on the main thing and say no to majority of things outside of that. So, I've learned from the pain of going through that. We'd be much further along if we didn't get distracted in the past. But I refuse to get distracted moving forward. And I have to constantly remind myself, because it's easy to get distracted. A couple of weeks ago, there were a couple of things, and I was leaning towards getting distracted and just feel it in my gut that this was not the right thing, and I was just going to be repeating the same mistakes that we had made in the past. And So even though I like the people, even though, maybe the opportunity had a chance of working out, it's better to just say, nope, focus on the main thing. And maybe these people can come inside of our main thing and we prosper that way. But it's very easy to get distracted. And it's an awareness thing of, I'm getting distracted right now. This isn't the right choice. Get back to focusing on the main thing. But I'm only telling you this because I've gone through the pain of doing this for years, and I refuse to do it anymore. Focus is where we're headed moving forward, focusing on building the thing that I was just talking about, and anything outside of that saying no to, because it never works. Some are going to hit, great. I hope that they have all the success in the world, but I guarantee we'll have more success if we just focus on our main thing here. So thank y'all for joining today. I hope you don't get distracted. For you dreamers out there who love being distracted and following, all these opportunities, just look back and look at. I would just encourage you to do some reflection of, has it paid off? And if your experience has been anything like our experience, the answer is no, it hasn't paid off. But what has paid off is focus. So I wish y'all the best. I hope 2024 is a year of focus for you. And let all the suckers follow the trends. See you next week.